welcome to Planet Hex. This is Andrew Horn here. Yes, I am putting Magic the Gathering content on Planet Hex, as my Magic the Gathering show Turn 1 Shock has come to an end. I do still have a lot of love for Magic. I still want to share some content on the my favourite game in the world. So on this episode, I'm going to crack some packs, and now I'm going to compare some Kaldheim packs with some Strixhaven packs. Strixhaven School of Mages is the latest set of Magic Gathering cards, and Kaldheim is the previous one. So with Kaldheim, it's more like Norse mythology and Vikings and so on. Strixhaven, I'm not sold yet. It has a bit, it's a magic school sort of thing, bit of a Harry Potter vibe going on, apparently. I'm just going to cough, I do apologise. Very pro. And I'm not sure how that one's going to work, because I'm a big fan of the Kaldheim cards so far that I've played, and I'm not sure if Strixhaven is really going to be my sort of set, but let's take a look. So we've got 6 packs of Kaldheim, and we've got 8 packs of Strixhaven. Because it's a new set, I want to check out some of those new cards, so let's see what we've got here. So let's go start cracking some Kaldheim packs. Really enjoyed the mechanics in the Kaldheim set that I've played so far. Ooh, what we got here. First time I've had a 3 seasons. Mill 3 cards for the first one in this saga. Our second turn is return up to 2 targets, no permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. And the third stage is choose 3 cards in each graveyard. Their owners shuffle those cards into their libraries. Also got a Disdainful Stroke, Run Ashore, Dogged Pursuit. What's on the Run Ashore one? I've not had one of those yet. Choose one or both. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it on the top or bottom of their library, or you return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Awesome. Dogged Pursuit, a common wild card, Alpine Meadow, Morit of the Frost, ooh, a legendary snow creature, Shapeshifter, Changeling. You may have Morit of the Frost enter the battlefield as a copy of a permanent you control, except it's legendary and snow in addition to its other types, and if it's a creature, it enters it with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it, and has Changeling. Nice! Oh, hello. Tergrid, God of Fright. That's awesome. Got Menace, so it's 2 black and 3 generic for Menace for a 4/5 creature. Legendary creature, God. It's double-sided, so whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That's funky. Okay, and the other side is Legendary Artifact, Tergrid's Lantern. Tap it. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. That's handy. Quite like that. Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next pack of Kaldheim. I think something that sold the Kaldheim set to me really was the amount of metal references that were going on, and there was a lot of metal bands advertising the set, and I just loved that. So Rune of Flight in this pack, let's have a look here. It's a blue card, so I probably won't use it that much, but enchant permanent. When Rune of Flight enters the battlefield, draw a card. As long as an enchanted permanent is a creature, it has flying. As long as enchanted permanent is an equipment, it has equipped creature is flying. Okay. Clarion Spirit. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Now, I love tokens, especially tokens with flying. That is, I think I'm going to get some use out of that, especially in my Boros decks. We all know I love a bit of Boros. Dwarven Reinforcements. Create 2 2/1 red dwarf berserker creature tokens. Not bad. I will have that. Thank you very much. Shimmerdrift Veil. Shimmerdrift Veil enters the battlefield tapped. As Shimmerdrift, I can't speak, Veil enters the battlefield, choose a colour. Add 1 mana of the chosen colour when tapped. Bergstrider. Bergstrider enters the battlefield, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls. If it was spent to cast a spell, if Snow Mana was spent to cast a spell, that permanent doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Okay, run amok. Seize the spoils. This creates a treasure. The Clarion Spirit, and we got Skemfar Avenger. Whenever another non-token elf or berserker you control dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Okay. What else do we have? See, I find the Kaldheim set a bit more brutal into my tastes. It's nice to have brutal tastes. Not Void Slumbermound. That's awesome. That sounds like a Tolkien-esque name if ever I heard one. So that enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it, you can add red mana. For 3 red, 2 green, and tap it, you sacrifice Not Void Slumbermound. Destroy target land to create a 4/4 green Troll Warrior creature token with trample. That's nice. Haggy Mob. Tremendous Helm. Another Dwarven Reinforcements. I love reinforcements cards. I do miss the heroic reinforcements that created 2 soldiers and gave everything +1/+1 to the end of turn. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. So what's been your most favourite set recently? Please do feel free to leave a comment. Cardo, Doomscourge, already got that, but I love that. Glimpse the Cosmos. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. My god, this is a lot of flavour text. As long as you control a giant, you may cast Glimpse the Cosmos from your graveyard by paying 1 blue rather than paying its mana cost. If you cast Glimpse the Cosmos this way, and it would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. There's a lot going on with Kaldheim. There is. Stalwart Valkyrie. Yeah. I run amok. Scary Firewalker. Razor Dragon. That's a good card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, or return 2 target creature cards that share a creature type from your graveyard to your hand. For a common card, that is really useful for just 1 black and 1 generic. Shackles of Treachery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Yes, why not? And we got... oh, the World Tree. Funky. Why am I saying funky today? I don't know. World Tree enters the battlefield tapped. Tap it and add 1 green. As long as you control 6 or more lands, lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any colour. Awesome. But for 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red and 2 green, and tapping it, sacrifice the World Tree, search your library for any number of god cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Nice. That is a fantastic effect, but I don't think I foresee any time I would ever play all 5 colours, because I would just lose. So, Ruined Crown. When Ruined Crown enters the battlefield, you may search your library, hand and or graveyard for a rune card and put it onto the battlefield attached to Ruined Crown. If you search your library this way, shuffle, equipped creature gets +1/+1. Okay, what's this saga? Oh, I've already got Karda's Vicious Return. Sacrifice a creature. When you do Karda's Vicious Return, deals 3 damage to any target. Second stage, each player discards a card. Third stage, return a target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until your next turn. We've got to love a little bit of hastiness. Dog of Pursuit, Mammoth Growth, Berg Strider, Razor Draga, and a common wild card. And Crippling Fear, choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3 until end of turn. Ooh, that may well find its way into my mono black meanie deck. And my last pack of Kaldheim for today. Blizzard Brawl. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, the creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Then those creatures fight each other. Nice. And we've got a uncommon wild card. We've got Squash, Skull Raid, Sculpture of Winter, with a Crown. Another Dwarven Reinforcements. I might have to fill my deck with those. I like that. I like creating deck tokens. And what have we got here for my last card of the Kaldheim set? Bergi, God of Storytelling. Okay. It's 1 red and 2 generic for a 3/3, a legendary creature god. Whenever you cast a spell, add 1 red mana. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Oh. Creatures you control can boast twice during each of your turns rather than once. On the backside, the flip side of that, Harnfell Horn of Bounty, which is 1 red and 4 generic for a legendary artifact. Discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. So that's not a bad batch from the Kaldheim cards at all. I think those work pretty well. I do like the overall, I love the aesthetic of the set. I love the mechanics of the Kaldheim set. There's a lot of, you know, bonding together of armies and tokens and so on. There's a lot of shenanigans going on there that appeal to me as a player. So let's see how the Strixhaven cards fare. Now, I haven't played any of these cards yet. That is a cool looking card. Eliminate. Instant. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Ether Helix. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Nice. Grinning Ignis. Charge through. Oh, that just looks like Quidditch. It reminds me of Quidditch anyway, even though it's clearly not. Mouldering Carrack. Trample and Lifelink. That helps. Cogwork Archivist. With Reach. Lash of Malice. Oh, the art on that rules. Target creature gets +2/-2 until end of turn. Oh, that's tricky. Dragon's Guard Elite is my red there. Okay, so Magecraft. Whenever you cast a copy of an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Dragon's Guard Elite. You can double the number of +1/+1 counters on Dragon Guard Elite instead. I think Strixhaven seems more attuned to blue players for me, anyway. Ooh, shiny new Infuriate. Oh, the comic style art on that is gorgeous. Perfect, I love that. Fracture. Ooh. I may have been hasty in my opinion of Strixhaven. That's quite cool. Spectacle Mage. Flying. Instant sorcery spells you cast with mana value 5 or greater cost 1 less to cast. That's helpful. Bayou Groff. Clever Lumimancer. Very cool, but I am in love with this Infuriate. I would have that as a print. I love that. And what we've got here, Rushed Rebirth. Choose target creature. When that creature dies this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser mana value, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Okay, that's not a bad pack to start with at all. One to start, but you know. Ah, the art on this is gorgeous. You see, I was just thinking, it's a Harry Potter knockoff, it's all going to be a bit Harry Potter-ish and twee. But then again, I thought that about Throne of Eldraine. I thought that was just going to be not very good, and it turned out to be a pretty solid set, in my opinion anyway. I did like Throne of Eldraine a lot, so it's nice to see some more, not so much high fantasy, because there's always been like a high fantasy element in Magic, but it's just nice to see some more slightly whimsical things coming into it, but not done in an overtly twee way, which I find some of the Harry Potter stuff can just be a little syrupy. Anyway, I love that duress. Hall Monitor, common wildcard, Battle Seer, Burying Books, with Blue Campus, and an uncommon wildcard. Okay. And Jadzi. Oh, I missed that one. I got Jadzi anyway. I'm liking that each pack has one of these full art cards in. That is gorgeous. That is a lovely Revitalise. I use Revitalise a lot when I'm playing white. So yeah, that's handy. Devouring Tendrils, Guiding Voice, Fractal Summoning, Ogyor Battle Seer, Biblioplex Assistant. Nice. Tenured Inkcaster. What's this one? Creature Vampire Warlock. 1 black and 4 generic for a 2/2. What? When Tenured Inkcaster enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay, that works. And a rare wild card. I'm doing well for wild cards in this set. I think there's going to be some interesting things going on with these Strixhaven cards. Oh man, look at that. That is beautiful. I'm loving the symmetric nature of that. That's gorgeous work. Robbie Trevino, you are a very talented person. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Do you know, I don't usually use effects like that, but just to use that card, I think I might start. Rip apart, that's... Oh, I'm having that. Some removal for Boros, yep. Fuming Effigy. Frost Trickster. Stonerise Spirits. A common wild card, and... Cody! Vociferous Codex is my rare. That's a rare. Can't cast permanent spells. That's not ideal. Don't think I'm going to use that much, but you never know. Dina, Soul Steeper. Now you look cool. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Works for me. Oh, I'm loving these cards. These are great. Look at that. That's beautiful. Target player draws 3 cards, and that player discards 2 cards unless they discard a land. Okay. Bookworm. Nice. Vigilance and Menace. Relic Sloth. Oh, that's lovely. 4/4 with Vigilance and Menace. Blood Researcher. Curate. Expressive Iteration. Look at the colours on that card. That's gorgeous. So look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, put one of them on the bottom of your library, then exile one of them. You may pay the exiled cost this card this turn. Tempted to run another oh, and a mythic rare wild card. Tempted to run another red-blue deck, because that's not something I usually play a lot of. Pigment Storm deals 5 damage to target creature. Excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. It's just like a burn spell with trample. Reject. Witherbloom Pledge Mage. That art is sick. Love it. Stonebound Mentor. Explosive Welcome. Devastating Mastery. Look at that. So 4 white and 2 generic. You may pay 2 and 2 white rather than pay the spell's mana cost. If the 2/2 white cost was paid, an opponent chooses up to 2 non-land permanents they control and returns them to their owner's hand. Destroy all non-land permanents. Oh, hello. Board wipe. Shadewing Laureate. That art is gorgeous. Look at those creatures coming out of the dress. That rules. Brainstorm. Draw 3 cards, put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. I am in love with the art on these. I think the art alone is going to make me try some different things out with Strixhaven. And my last pack. Another Duress, awesome. Rutha, Mercurial Artist. Hall Monitor again. Mage Duel. That sounds like a game in its own right, Mage Duel, I like that. The spell costs 2 less to cast if you have cast another instant or sorcery spell this turn. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn, then it fights target creature you don't control. Introduction to Annihilation. Introduction to Annihilation! I'm sure that was a song. Professor of Zoomancy. See, that's a bit more twee. It creates a pest! I think my wife would argue that Magic the Gathering cards created a pest in me. Anyway, I like this set. I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to like this set so much, but I do think I'm going to get some interesting decks out of this, and it's going to make me try some different styles of gameplay. For my last card, let's see what I got in this, where I'm comparing Kaldheim packs with Strixhaven. Torrent Sculptor. It has Ward for 2. When Torrent Sculptor enters the battlefield, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, put a number of +1/+1 counters on Torrent Sculptor equal to half that card's mana value rounded up. And the other side is Flamethrower Sonata. I love the idea of a Flamethrower Sonata. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard an instant or sorcery card this way, Flamethrower Sonata deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. So, on the whole, that's pretty good. So that's a look at some Kaldheim packs and some Strixhaven packs next to each other. I'm still not entirely sold on the idea of Strixhaven because of the the Harry Potter magic school sort of overtones of it. I think that sort of concept has been done to death. Even now, it's so long after the Harry Potter phenomenon, it's kind of just become a normal thing and petered out a little bit. I'm not entirely sold on it, but I do think there are some great mechanics in there and some cards I can have a lot of fun with. I'm still more of a Kaldheim sort of person, I believe. Just with the mechanics of it are more appealing, the aesthetic of it is more appealing to me as a player. But yeah, I think Strixhaven will be interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below about what you're going to be doing with your own decks now that Strixhaven is here. I'm Andrew Watt. Thank you for checking out this Magic the Gathering theme episode of Planet Hex. I almost said Term on Shock then, but I finished that show. This is basically Term on Shock with different titles this episode, isn't it? But I wanted to share some MTG love with my fellow players out there. I'll catch you again very soon on another episode of Planet Hex.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.